Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a little bonus section, I guess you could say, or maybe it's a regular episode. Hell, I don't know. It's been too long. So glad to kick it back in and get things rolling. Of course, as you know, it is your show and it's been a little bit, but hey, speaking of that, if you want to ever be on your show, it literally will be now. So reach out. I am open to suggestions and guests. But that being said, when we talk about guests, I want to bring the main event, up to the stand right now because, as you and I both know, as you can see on the screen, my dad is joining me for this episode. Y'all's favorite, hell, you like him better than me, the Randy Elkouri. So, Dad, what you got for the people?
Hey, stud, how you doing, bud?
Always good.
I don't know why I had a brief moment of stupidity and decided I'd join this damn thing, but what the hell? We might as well see if we can kick this thing off right.
Well, we
Maybe, maybe,
released, huh?
maybe we get your show going on again.
Right,
I I was impressed because that's the first time I've seen that fat ass finger of yours pointing right at the camera for a while.
right. It's been a minute. It's been I don't even know how long. But we have to, everybody keeps saying, "Hey, podcast, podcast." I'm like, well, got to get back into it, I guess. What better time than now?
Yep. Well, I don't want anybody getting wrong ideas because I am not a podcast person. I'm just happy as hell to be here to support the kids. So everybody knows I love the guy, but sometimes I tolerate him, and sometimes I'm like, "What the fuck are you thinking, dude?"
I hear you.
Yeah, loud and clear, right? And y'all bear with me. I'm on the phone because I'm a 63-year-old man, and this podcast shit. I'm just happy I can get on a damn Zoom call.
Yeah, I'm glad we use Zoom and not StreamYard. Shout out to Mike on that experiment. Fun stuff.
What happened to old Mike? He's been like he's
Hey,
gone.
watching
I know.
movies in the woods right now. He got
I
it on his projector.
let's talk about your show. Everybody's got something else going on. I understand that. I seen Adam's got a baby now. Not Adam. Adam's got a Adam's got a grandbaby. Adam ain't old enough to have a grandbaby.
I know, isn't that crazy?
God dang. And a girl. Poor dude. Girl. Girls are the worst, man. Girl. I had you and three girls. Girls are the worst.
Yeah.
You're easy. I mean, just go do what I did, boy. You'll be all right.
Yeah, I don't think mom thinks the same way.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you kind of gave her fits. So, and what it, Devin?
Yeah, he is a dad.
Oh, yeah. He's not mature enough to be a dad.
Oh yeah, I want to say to Devin and Erica, congratulations on Sammy Kavara kick out Crew Dowling. Really, really happy.
Yeah.
Want to give my support.
Yeah. And Adam, of course, is tied up with all his ref and stuff. I'm kind of proud of old Adam. He's got it going on with the refing and the new grandbaby coming on. Mike, of course, Mike's got. I don't know how Mike does it. I seen pictures of little girls on Facebook. Man, he's got a road ahead of him. Poor,
Right.
poor dude. Man, poor dude. And then Brad, yes man, Brad's got everything else going on between selling cars and that new podcast he's on. Brad's something else.
Yeah.
I did see something where Brad said he goes to the gym all the time.
Huh.
I get little snippets of their podcast and something
Oh,
about
gotcha.
Brad going to the gym. Yeah, he needs to. He ain't no bigger than a wet noodle.
Oh man, I'm not gonna lie. I was messaging him during the Super Bowl, like when Cooper DeJean made that pick six. I straight up
Yep,
messaged him, "Congratulations, man." He's like, "Oh, there's still a lot of time left." It's like, the way this game's going, it's over.
yep,
So,
yep. That's
nothing pains me. Nothing pains me like a Philadelphia Eagles Super Bowl. I'm not gonna
the
lie.
only flaw I got with Brad is a Philadelphia Eagles fan.
Yep. Ugh.
He's a good dude, but just that one. He'd be a really good dude if he didn't like the Eagles.
Right.
I mean, But we all have our handicaps. I guess we have to live with them.
That's true. We love Brad
So
for who he is, even though that is a poor life decision right there.
then, it's been a minute since. I mean, you and I talk pretty much every week, but all your buds on here, Coach Rosie, man, that's my dude.
Yeah, shout out.
Yeah, he gave me shit
Man,
about my drive.
you should have seen us in LA.
Hell, I think I damn near scared him to death the way I was driving in Huntsville.
Yeah.
We went to that one breakfast place. He's, God damn, dude, it's a red light. Well, fuck, I didn't. The lights are at 4 different angles. I don't know which one to look at.
Right.
Fucking Rosie, something else.
The
As long
best.
as we're on the subject, let's talk about all your buddies with your
Oh
ad free,
man, yeah. See, it's their show. Now this is what I like.
shows. People, they've kind of accepted me as their own. Of course, they have to like me because you're an ass.
Yeah, and see, well, no, I think they like you, and they just like, all right. So James like paid the yearly subscription, so his dad's going to Top Guy Weekend. They're like, we have to keep James the top guy, so Randy will keep coming to these events. I
There
know that's
you
what
go.
they're thinking.
And Huntsville was a blast, man. I mean, it, got to see Pondwater Dave. Got to see him in action again.
Yeah, happy belated. His birthday was a little bit ago.
Conrad, hell, and who got the selfie with Tony at
Oh
Dynamite?
yeah,
Who got the
yeah.
selfie with Tony?
I want to talk.
Not,
Man, I should have brought this up to him on that bonus podcast.
not
Oh,
you, not
yeah.
Megan.
You know
Yeah.
what he did to
What?
me at Fresno when I saw him at Fresno? You know what he did? We're at the very like kind of by the ramp where they turn. We're like at that corner. So the
Yeah.
announce table's at the other end. Whole show, like kind of waving at him and stuff. Obviously he's busy, so I didn't really bother him. I was watching the ring most of the time. But when they go to leave, he walks out like they're at the other end of the same row, like row one. They're at the other end, and he just points and waves and walks off. I was like, "What a motherfucker!"
Yep. 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 But, at Dynamite that night, he snubbed you and Megan.
That's true.
The old man got a goddamn selfie with Tony.
See,
So
the
we
legend continues.
there you go. And then speaking of that, the legend with Jeff Jarrett. That's just what was it? 4 years ago when we met Jarrett in Chicago,
Yep,
and he
2021.
was sicker than shit in that restaurant. We're like going, oh, don't be a fanboy, don't all this stuff. And we sit down, and Jarrett comes over and talks to us.
Yeah, gets up from
And
his table, it comes to our table, and talks to us.
yeah, and 4 years later, we're saying, hey, Oklahoma and Florida. Well, not Florida no more. Where you at? Well, California. And first son, Jarrett's like, the millions of people he meets in 4 years, and he still remembered that shit.
Yeah,
So I can't talk about your ad free people without talking about the number one most important person in the ad free shows community.
I know where this is going.
The love of my life. I'll never have a chance because she's in love with some dude that I'll have to whoop his ass one of these days. Allison Faye. That is my girl. And everybody knows that.
On wax, putting it on wax.
And Bruno, don't screw up, dude. I'll be sliding in the back door, Frank. She's all mine, buddy. But I could call out a whole lot of people. The only one I'm not going to call out is Sorensen.
Well, you did.
Yeah, I ain't got nothing good to say about Sorensen. No, he's a good guy. A little over the top, but he's not too bad. I got to talk about my Oklahoma boy,
Hell, which one? There's a couple of them.
Bobby. Bobby's kind of like Brad. Bobby's got one problem. He's an OU fan.
Exactly.
So, but anyway, I'm not here to dog all your friends or nothing. I just thought you and I'd get together and we just have a little bit of time to just bullshit.
Yeah, we didn't dog anybody except Sorensen, I guess, but that's out of love.
Yeah,
And
if that's
Frank,
too
well, we
easy.
got to say Frank is a nice guy. I guess you kind of just shafted him right there, but
Yeah, yeah. Frank's a good guy, but if he, pardon my French, guy, Frank fucks up, man. I got me a rocket scientist in waiting.
Oh, you're on deck? There's a baseball joke, huh?
There you go. There you go. There you go. I might even wear my batting helmet for protection.
See?
Oh,
Oh
dude. Everything else going all right, Stud?
yeah. Work's going good. You know, living the dream on that.
Yep, I
Nothing
understand.
really to say. We get
Yeah,
busy
we,
in June.
as you can see, I'm sitting out here in the sun because hell, we had like 40-degree temperatures in Oklahoma yesterday. Hell, they had snow down the Wichita Mountains south of here in May or April. Snow in April in Oklahoma.
That is crazy.
Figure. We had hail here the other night, and it's like I was cooking out. Everybody, most of your people are friends of mine on Facebook, whatever.
Yeah.
And I cooked out. I guess it was like last Wednesday, and that hail hit, and that rain was hitting my dang grill, and it was smoking because the rain was cold and my grill was hot. But by
That
God,
is
I finished.
that is Mike's Meat Minute.
I can admit it. Mike ain't got nothing on me. I didn't cook lasagna out there, dude. I did meat.
Yeah, right.
So I guess I know when this post, it'll be after the fact, but your brother-in-law's at the damn NCAA championship.
Yeah, actually, that is in a what, hour and a half, maybe 2 hours.
Yeah, tonight as you're recording this thing, but yeah, he's at the he got to go to the semifinal games too. Must be rough to spend a weekend in San Antonio and go to basketball games on Saturday, party on Sunday,
Wait
basketball
a
games on
second.
Monday.
Did they have that much faith in A&M?
I I don't know. I don't know
Or are
who
they just
got
going to
the.
go?
I think he just went to go.
Oh, because I was about to say that's a bold prediction to buy some Final Four tickets.
Well, and you know your brother-in-law. He ain't no bigger than a peanut. I don't think he. Why would he like basketball? Hell, hell, hell. Your niece is almost as tall as he is.
Hell,
Chandler's dad.
Him and Whitaker probably running neck and neck.
It'd be a close race. So why the hell would he like basketball?
Right?
So I think it's just a chance to go drink beer with the buds.
Yeah, in San
I
Antonio.
like, I like Top Guy Weekend, dude.
Yeah. Hey, you think they actually went to a game? Or do you think they just
Yeah,
went to San Antonio and got drunk?
he did. He did post a picture. Now, how long
We're
they,
here.
how long they, yeah, how long they stayed might have been a different animal.
Right?
But it's not.
Stay for one beer to get the photo. Well, I'm paying
Yeah,
$13.
yeah, no shit. Do they even sell beer at college? Yeah, they do
Yeah.
now. They used to not.
Yeah.
When you and I went to OSU games, they didn't. We had to go to Staples to get half cocked and go to the game, sober up
Right.
by halftime, and go drink at halftime. And
That was
yeah, I
football
guess
season.
that was moons ago, many moons ago.
Right?
Didn't we scalp a couple of tickets to pay for our whole trip? Yeah, I had like four
I
tickets,
think so. Yeah. You sold
and
two?
nobody else. Yeah, nobody else went with us, and we scalped them on the damn sidewalk, hoping the hell it wasn't a cop.
That's true.
Yeah, and it paid for our whole trip. Of course, people understand a trip to Stillwater from Mena is only like an hour drive.
Right.
Back then, hell, I can drive an hour drunk.
I guess
Not too bad.
yeah. And if you look at my past, I guess I have. So
There you go.
it's documented
Hered-
that I definitely have.
It's hereditary. We won't get into that. There's another story about a year ago. Some people know the story, some people don't. 10 grand's a lot of money.
Another Oklahoma buddy.
There you go. The best thing about that is whenever you got what, one or two things, and I can't remember who it was, Chelsea or Kara. One of them was dating somebody, and you looked at him and said, "Does he know he could look up my picture on what was it,
OSCN.
ODCR?" Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's Chelsea. 'Cause she still talks about that. The best thing is when you come home that one night about half cocked and said it's midnight 30. You remember that? We was all staying, I think at your mom's house or something, and the two little girls were on the living room asleep, and you come home after scooters or something. So what are y'all still doing up? It's midnight 30.
Yeah.
And they thought that was the funniest thing that ever happened. Of course, now, hell, they're all in their late 20s.
Yeah.
You fuckers got to quit getting old, man. You're making me an old man.
I
Shit.
know. Well, I'm reaching grandpa age, I guess, now.
You got to reproduce, son, to be a grandpa.
Right? I ain't gonna have
Of
none.
course. Well, I don't know. We might have Laquita in Mississippi back in the day.
That kid be I wonder what that kid be doing right now. Hopefully in sports. Then I could
Yeah, that
find
was
out
pretty
like
fun.
when I'm 50 something that I had a kid.
We gave you so much shit about that. Yeah, James, like Mississippi, 'cause you got Lakeisha or Laquita or whatever the hell. You're just too easy to pick on, dude. Too easy to
Everybody
pick on.
tries. I mean, it's everybody gives their best.
Yeah, yeah. Not much else going on.
No, not really. I did go to like Revolution. I went to the Dynamite. Those are fun stuff. Wrestling's been pretty decent. The Young Cucks came back last night. I don't know if you heard about that.
Yeah, I saw that. Why?
Boy,
I
boy.
mean, what was the thing on why?
We'll find out. I guess
Yeah,
Tony Khan's got something. Who knows? But boy,
yeah.
that crowd was ready for Swerve, and I think everybody was ready for Swerve, and then that was nuts.
Well, I was listening to. Of course, I got Sirius in my Rogue, and I was cruising around today, and I was listening to Busted Open. And Bully Ray was dogging him, man. He's why the hell would you have the main event go 60 minutes at midnight Eastern time?
It was very late. I was watching
Yeah,
it on the couch, and I was getting real tired, and I was like, "Fuck, there's still like two matches left."
yep, yep. And they were dogging the referees on Busted Open. And Bully kind of he didn't take the referee's side. He threw all the blame on Tony Khan. He
There's something I read. Tony Khan said something about like, oh, it matches their characters, and so there's probably some story going on. I guess we got to let it play out, but man,
yeah,
it just seemed like because this Death Riders thing is basically going nowhere.
yeah. And
So
that's what
yeah,
Bully said. Eventually, somebody's going to win it. He said, but God dang, he said we're stretching this out for a year.
yeah,
And he was talking about the referees. He said, Tony Khan is a matchmaker, but not a booker.
yeah.
He said Tony Khan, and Tony Khan is a big fan. Now, don't get me wrong, I like the AEW product, but I mean, we all know it's not as good as WWE product. I mean,
Yeah.
but my God, look how long WWE's been doing it. But Tony better figure that shit out if he wants to stay in business. And I know they dropped the smaller venues, which is a plus. It's a plus. You can't walk. It'd be like if Oklahoma City had a pro football team. Are you going to have a stadium as big as the Dallas Cowboys? No,
Hell, you
not
probably
right
wouldn't
off the
even have
bat.
one as big as OU.
Yeah, I mean, not right off the bat.
Yeah,
I mean, and of course he opened during COVID time and everything was private. And COVID was bad and good. It was really good for AEW because they couldn't have no fans in the audience, so they blossomed during COVID. But then when it got out of COVID, the stir they started carried over for like 2 years. Well, now we're almost 4 years out of COVID or 5.
I think the Punk thing hurt them bad.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He spent a lot of money on a lot of people, and then Punk coming in and not using the talent that he had the chance to use correctly. I mean, you brought Danielson and used the hell out of him,
Yeah.
and you brought Moxley in and used the hell out of Moxley. But what
Jericho's
about all these
still out
other?
there, you know?
Yeah, the other people. I mean, Miro.
Gone.
Yeah, Miro was a mid Carter in WWE at the least, but he's a big enough name, but didn't use him.
Yeah.
You know, and then we turn around and you got
Malachi Black. I don't
Miro.
know what happened with that.
Yeah, Aleister Black.
And that
Aleister
Black
Black.
Society or whatever, that was cool as hell.
Yeah, and Aleister Black, mid Carter, and now NXT was great, but when we got the main roster, mid Carter,
Yeah.
but you know, you got to figure out what you're going to do. You know, master your sale to somebody and push the hell out of them.
Yeah.
And what's happening, and I love Moxley to death, man. Moxley's my dude, but these guys keep going at the rate they're going right now. Yeah, their days are numbered. Moxley and Edge right now, or Cope.
Yeah, he got his
They
ass
keep,
beat last night.
yeah, they keep going at the rate they're going right now. I mean, you know, they had Cope had issues in WWE with neck and everything else.
Yeah, hell, he got power drives, what, 3 times last night?
Yeah, it's like, dude, what are you thinking? So I don't know. AEW is a good product, and they did a right move by getting the smaller venues. Now they just got to figure out the piece of, I guess, long term storytelling.
Yeah. Tony Storm's the only good thing they really got going.
Yeah, man. I'm not a big fan of her character now.
Oh man, it's good.
I like Rocker. I like Rocker Tony.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rocker Tony. Yeah, and Mercedes Monet.
Ooh, man. Talk about a fall from grace. She was like one of the top ones in WWE.
Yeah,
Now she's channel change. you know?
yeah. And in WWE, she had a lot of good stuff going on, good promos, good matches. But man, now it's like, who cares?
Yeah.
I don't care how many. I don't care how much gold you put around your belt. Still don't change. You carry five belts of gold to the ring. That don't mean a damn thing.
right.
I mean, hell, I could go to Guthrie, Oklahoma, and win the damn belt. At Billy Bob's Wrestling Society, And I'm an old fat 63-year-old man.
Hey, just got to book it right.
There you go. There you go.
Like in
But
Huntsville,
that,
like
yeah,
when I
Huntsville.
was the heel manager in Huntsville, had a blast doing that.
Yeah, couldn't have picked a better heel. You're pretty much an asshole. I mean, everybody knows that.
oh yeah. And even TJ said that when he walked around the ring, you better throw that asshole out.
Boy, I did. Everybody said, just hold on. And I said, I don't give a shit what you just throw that fucker out. And they did.
I get a lot of credit for that idea, but I believe it was Adam because Adam said it. And I was like, oh, that'll be like, everybody will cheer. Everybody will cheer. Because even the
Yep.
wrestlers were like, are you sure you want to do this? I'm like, oh, no, it'll be a big spot. Like, don't worry.
Yep. 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 So what's our next adventure? We
I
gonna
don't
make
know.
Hall of Fame?
I haven't heard anything about Top Guy Weekend. Of course, I know Conrad's all fucking star casted up.
Hall of Fame?
If I can get the time off, I may be able to get it. I'd definitely fly. I don't know how long of a
Well,
drive it'd be for me. Probably a long fucking drive.
fuck, yeah, that's 10, 11 hours from here.
Shoot.
And I don't mind flying, but it's like if I drive, we at least got a vehicle to get around.
Yeah, to go to the Walmart and get some beers.
Yeah. And we got a big enough vehicle to haul beers. I think we kind of freaked them out in Huntsville.
That's a pretty big car bar opportunity. I'm gonna let you know that. The Hall of
Well, hell, maybe.
because at the shit actually last time since I'm a lifetime member, we went and they had like this own section with like drinks and stuff. So I went in there
Maybe I should
got
get
like a beer and a mixed drink.
maybe I should get wristbands.
Yeah.
Hey, that's a thought.
You might as well
I
become a
saw
lifetime member. That's a
they could be
Lopez Traeger's Hall of Fame.
yeah. And who is this? Your Jack Hager?
Yeah, and Bischoff.
Who gives a shit about Bischoff?
And
Speaking of
I believe
Bischoff,
I think Savio Vega's going to be there. I don't want to go
yeah,
because I don't want to forget people, but obviously Briscoe and Bradshaw. Maybe I won't fucking spill a beer in Bradshaw's room this year. I definitely know a way to make an introduction. That was the first ever time, and just dropped a beer. Felt like an idiot. The look he gave
uh,
me, God, I will never forget. That's like burned into my brain. That's
and
a
then
big
and
old
you know,
dude. Bradshaw's a
and then
big old boy.
and then right after that's when he started making his comeback in Independence. You're going, he could have whipped your ass, dude.
Yep, he was in prime shape. Like he was working out and everything.
Yeah, so we may have to look at that Hall of Fame thing. That might be fun.
Oh, it's definitely fun. I know Bryant will be there. We didn't talk about him earlier, but I know Brian will be there.
Oh, Bryant, man. Well, he was behind the scenes. Nobody saw his ass.
Right?
Probably the smartest dude on the whole thing. Probably the smartest dude on the whole podcast. If it
Yeah,
wasn't for Brian, I
yeah, he
mean,
was smart for the podcasting and smart on himself to be like, I'm not going to be on camera, so they'll never see me.
yeah, yeah, hell yeah, something else. Good old Brian. Yep. And I remember we was in Chicago and the toy store. Oh no, y'all need to go to this. And I mean, he knew exactly where to tell you to go.
Yeah, and a good portion of this is from that trip.
Yeah, no shit. Trust me, I know. I shipped it to you.
Oh yeah.
It's
Did you
like that
know
other
that I
shit.
have the same? So that Hangman figure I got in Chicago was the one I already had. So now I have two of the same Hangman figure.
You just think of one of them autographed.
Yeah, I have his autograph. I did a meet and greet. The pay per view won the title. I actually have that figure too. This is my mark at moment, I guess. But they,
Yeah,
I think it was Target made an exclusive full gear Hangman Page when he won the title, and I was there, so I definitely had to pre order that.
yeah.
I was drunk when he won that belt, and I cheered my ass off when he finally did.
Didn't you drink a beer with him?
No, I've met him though. Like I did the meet and greet thing the day before.
Yeah.
So I was like, man, this is my fifth straight pay per view going to watch you win that belt. I'm like, I've been chasing it. You won't have to chase it much longer. I'm like, all right.
That's pretty fun.
But that's when he was like on top of the world, you know. Now everybody
Oh,
hates him.
yeah. So did he quit teaching school?
I honestly don't know. I doubt it. Well, maybe he did. Maybe I'm assuming it pays more than a teacher's salary for sure.
Okay. Didn't one of the Steiners teach for a while?
They're a school board member.
Okay. Well, George Steele was a teacher, the animal.
Yeah.
And he said it was all cool because where he was teaching at, they didn't see anything. And then when the network got so big, then his students saw him.
Yeah.
And he talked about it. He says, yeah, I said, then I really couldn't go to school because they all knew who the hell I was. He said, here I am trying to be Mr. Professional, wearing a tie and all this stuff. And in the ring, I'm chewing up turnbuckles.
Yeah.
It's really pretty cool. I mean, like the Top Guy stuff, where we see them, they're not in character, but they're still kind of trying to maintain the character. But
Yeah.
when you meet them outside, like that time I told you I met Dory Jr., I'm walking around Sears Roebuck in freaking Amarillo. And I walked up there and said, "Hey, you're Dory Jr." She said, "Yeah, I am." I said, "What are you doing here?" She said, "Yeah." So, well, I thought I'd come buy a TV for the ranch. And just cool as shit. I mean, just cool as shit. He said, "Yeah." He said, "I guess the boys got a little rowdy and broke the TV, so I got to buy a new one and take out to the ranch." And it wasn't no fanboy, no nothing. And he just talked to me like I was just everyday Joe Blow. And he even asked me, "So which one do you suggest?" I said, "Dude, I still got a TV, got the big box on the back." I said, "Don't ask me about these flat screen fuckers." And I think when you and I went to, I think when the girls were little, we went to, what is it, Wonderland Park there?
Hmm.
We're in line for one of the rides. We looked down at the private picnic area, and Terry Funk and his family was down there. And you and I are going, ah, and everybody else is going, that. We're going, ah, this Terry Funk. No,
That mural in Amarillo is awesome too. That painting.
that one, yeah, that's cool. That deal in Perry, I think I sent that out a year or two ago with the statues of Danny Hodge.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. It's just like the middle of a block, but they've got all the Perry state. Perry's a stronghold in wrestling. I remember back in the '70s, they come to Hobart for wrestling tournaments. It's like, yeah, Perry's going to win because they were just that damn good. Everybody. Danny Hodge's grandkids wrestled for Perry, and Danny Hodge, your brother-in-law or your uncle Mike,
Yeah.
when he was coaching, Danny Hodge would be in the stands, watch his grandkids wrestle, just like another dude, you know. What do you think about that OSU dude?
That's pretty
Didn't
impressive.
that man, man?
Yeah.
One how it's gonna take somebody to snatch his ass up and make him a pro wrestler?
Oh shit, I bet you's already getting looks for sure.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Especially beating Gable. That's big time stuff.
Yep, yep, that's crazy. Speaking of Gable, what do you think about that? What do you think about that angle right now?
Stupid. So stupid. I bet it ends tonight or soon.
Well, you know, they was saying something on one of the stupid things on there, Sportskeeda or Bleach Report or something. They don't even look the hell. They don't look alike. The freaking chin, dude. It's the same dude. Oh, but no, this guy's got lucha libre training. Anybody can jump and flip. Maybe not my fat ass.
All
But,
right.
dang. Yep. Life of a single dude, buddy.
Yep.
Been there, done that.
I'll need to hang it
That's
up
why I
tonight.
don't have. That's why I don't have a treadmill. Treadmill
Oh.
is the most. Oh, look at that. Coors Light. You smartened up. You got a little wife since you moved to
I can't
California.
find Natty Light here. I found like a
No,
12 pack here and there, but I'm not gonna buy a 12 pack.
yep. Yep. You know, whenever I was single and I had a treadmill, that was the best damn coat rack I ever had.
Yeah.
Because God knows I don't work out. I do a 200-pound deadlift every morning to get my fat ass out of bed.
Yeah, I do 12-ounce curls.
Hey, dude, look at this. I graduated. I'm a 16-ounce curl guy
Hell, this
now.
one's what? How many ounces are these? 25?
24. 24.
24.
I told everybody I'm pacing myself. Next summer I'll be on 24-ounce curls.
Yeah.
They won't. They won't. They won't. They won't recognize me, man. I keep doing 24-ounce curls.
Gains.
Yep. I'll be able to pick up. I'll be able to pick up Bruno and body slam his ass.
Oh, there'll probably be a ring set up somewhere.
There we go. I really hope he listens to this.
Hey, and if all else fails, if there's a ring around, Sorensen will be there. So, maybe throw him off the
I can
ropes or something.
I can practice. I could. That wouldn't be no. The thing about it, if I ever got hold of Sorensen, it wouldn't be like you learn the moves. It would be like all out. I'm gonna kick
It wouldn't be a work, it'd be a shoot.
it. Shoot. Yeah, we'd be on Bischoff's podcast the next day about me trying to kill Sorensen in the ring. Nah, he's a good dude. When he's asleep, he just don't sleep enough.
Right.
Frickin' Sorensen. So not much going on here, dude. I just work and come home, and then and let's talk about being played. I get these emails or text messages or whatever from anybody and their dog, and it's like from women.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, hey, baby, blah blah blah. Dude, I'm 63 years old, and there is no way in the world a woman like you would have any interest in a man like me. And of course, you know me. It's like, hey, baby, what's up?
Yeah, of
You know,
course.
and
Yeah.
I'm and I
No,
and
it's
I am just
fake.
going,
I can't believe they didn't even try anything. And then you reply.
yeah, and I'm all, yeah. You want to meet? No, we can't meet nowhere, but you can send me $50 on Cash App or Bitcoin. I said, what the fuck is Bitcoin? Oh yeah, no, no, So I play this on and on. I said, nah. I said, when you want to meet live, you holler at me. And I said, I'll pay you cash. Oh, I don't do cash. And it's like, it's funny how I guess the algorithms pick up whatever. I mean, and heaven bid, I'm a normal old guy, and I click on like a certain, like a professional wrestler wearing a hot bikini pants or something. Click, yeah, you like it. And I mean, they come out of the freaking woodwork, dude. And of
Every
course,
scroll or something.
oh man, and I'm like you said, I'm going, hey, yeah, I play along with them. Send me $30 of Bitcoin. I ain't sending you shit. And my favorite line is, I can watch porn for free.
Yep.
And then they go, I'm better than porn. How the fuck are you better than porn? I mean, you're gonna do something on camera that I can watch for free, and I'm gonna pay you $30 to do this shit? Ain't happening, bitch.
Yeah.
But I love it. I'm an old man. I'm technology strapped a little bit, but I mean, I'm just happy so I can get over damn Zoom with you.
Yeah. Technology.
But it's pretty funny. Like I told you earlier, I was pricing car insurance. I got every car insurance in the world sending me stuff. I'm like going, how do they know that crap? Let's talk about that.
Probably your data
How
sold. They probably sold your shit.
so you look up car insurance, and pardon my French, guys, but every swinging dick in the world wants to get your business on car insurance. And if you look up professional wrestling, you get, I mean, I never knew what Sportskeeda was. And now I get Sportskeeda notifications like every day. And Sportskeeda is bullshit. I get the one last night. It was funny. Ex WWE champion turns heel. And when you log into it, you got to scroll through the whole shooting match of Dynasty. And it doesn't say nothing about a WWE heel, ex WWE champion turn heel. But then when you start reading it, it's like it's Dak. Well, okay, so he turned heel, but they bait you with that ex WWE champion turning heel.
Yeah, they've been out of WWE since God, what, 2017 or something?
Yeah, and they bait you into that crap. It's pretty funny. I mean, I looked up the uh, Oklahoma City Dodgers. I'm gonna try to go to a game, couple three games this summer, and I got all kind of baseball shit coming up. The Dodgers, the Savannah Bananas. They're not even going to be in Oklahoma City this year. It's a Savannah Bananas in Oklahoma City. Well, yeah, okay. So I thought, well, that'd be fun. Yeah, they were advertising a 2024 deal. Why the hell did I get that? They're not even going to be in Oklahoma City this year. Although I did get a message from a friend of mine, her and her family is going to go to WWE at the Box Center in Tulsa.
Oh, be okay.
Yeah, she said, "You trying to go?" She said, "It's in like June." I said, "No, I think we got plans in June to go to the Hall of Fame."
Hall of Fame's in
I think
July.
that is it.
Yeah.
Hell, I'm going to have to go to be okay.
Yeah, you better hit him back.
But I don't have an out. Me and Tony's buds. I could call Tony for his AEW event.
Yeah.
Okay. Speaking of which, I don't know if you saw the thing. Somebody was dogging Tony and Ross last night, and I didn't chime. I wanted to so bad, but they're going worst announcing, blah blah blah, and I'm going. You know what, dude? You're not there. They're
Yep.
saying Jim Ross is going through the motions, and Tony Schiavone was probably doing what Tony Khan told him to do. And I said, I have never had anything negative to say about Tony's announcing. JR, on the other hand, nothing negative, but everybody knows how JR is.
Yeah.
But JR is probably the sharpest cat out there. But somebody on Facebook was dogging Tony and JR last night.
I didn't see it. I know it started out a little loosey goosey,
Yeah, but
but it was like Taz and Tony talking shit to each other.
yeah, who was it told Taz he was so short?
Oh hell, I don't
Somebody out there started giving Taz hell about his height. Well, I'll let you ramble for a little bit. I've got to go check out my pipes now. I think I got a plug.
No, you got a plumbing issue in the bathroom?
Yep, I got a plumbing issue. Now, I'm not smart enough to turn this freaking shit off, so I'm going to sit on the counter,
All
take care of it.
right.
So you can ramble for a little bit, and then I'll get back on. And we'll ramble about something else.
All right.
So I know this is your podcast, son, and and I know it's not a wrestling podcast according to you, but it basically is. Let's let's just for the hell of it go down the WrestleMania card as it stands today, and give me your thoughts on what you think
Oh
of the card.
God, a preview show?
Yeah, let's just see what you think today.
My favorite fucking thing to do.
I know, love you, buddy.
Let's
So
see.
you gotta look up the card.
Yep.
You just because I'm not looking it up. 'Cause if I get off of here, you lost me. Of course, they don't have night one, night two picked out yet, do they?
Not really.
I mean, but they got matches picked out.
Yeah.
So
So
just start somewhere and talk about it.
the three-way dance: Roman Reigns, CM Punk, Seth Rollins.
Well, I'll tell you my thought on that, and you guys on the Ad Free Shows Facebook page, we need to backtrack to the KO Randy Orton. KO's out. So that'll be when we talk about the Cody thing. But the Randy Orton, oh, not the Randy Orton, the Seth Rollins and all that stuff. What if Paul Heyman's in a predicament right now? I mean, him and Punk are best friends, but he's also the mouth for the tribal chief.
Yeah.
And you and I talked about this earlier. What if Roman comes out and says, Paul, I can speak for myself. I don't need you. And this came up on Busted Open, and it made a lot of sense when Bully said it. If Roman says, Paul, I don't need you, and then he goes to Punk, says, hey, Punk, I'm your man, and Punk saying, we're friends and all, but I don't need you on the mic. I mean, I'm the pop bomb king. I mean, they named after Punk, they named the pop bomb.
Yeah.
Any promo, if you do a pop bomb, it's because of Punk.
Yeah.
Punk says, I don't need you, but you sold me a favor. And then all of a sudden you hear Seth in the background, ha, 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 You don't have Roman, you don't have CM Punk. And Paul goes up to Seth, says, why don't you quit worrying about your flamboyant suits and your high heels that you're wearing? And let's get you back to burn it down and curb stomping people. So I can kind of sort of see that happening.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. It could be a whole swerve where the bloodline gets back together, depending on the J match.
True.
But Paul Heyman is the key to that triple threat. What are your thoughts, buddy?
I have no idea. I think that match should go either way. With Heyman being with Punk, I don't know.
Punk's going to win.
I'm excited to see it, but I'm not like invested as I should be because it's just like, whatever.
Well, Punk's going to win, but if Punk doesn't win, I mean, everybody's tired of the Seth Punk thing because we've already been through that before. But if Seth comes back as the burn it down Seth, could start a whole new era.
Yeah.
But the key to it's Roman.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if Roman's going to come back and do basically, I guess, full time, but not really full time. If Roman's going to do like a 3 or 4 month stint where he's actually active, then we could see the Roman issue playing in. But I wouldn't be surprised if Heyman aligns with Seth after this.
Yeah, it's probably what's going to happen. I don't know.
But then if he does Seth go after Roman or does he go after Punk? There's no title involved, so
probably go after.
Well, yeah, it depends on Cody may not win. I mean,
he may go after Cena.
Yeah.
Or hell, he could go after Jay. Who knows?
Yep, Jay or Gunther.
I think you got to give it to Jay.
Yeah. I don't know. Pick your next match. Is that your next one? Jay and Gunther?
Yeah, we can do that one.
Flip a coin, dude.
I think you got to go Jey Uso.
You got to go with the fan base right now, which is Jey Uso. But
if you have all this yeet shit and the crowd does it for like 5 straight minutes, because at Mania, they're going to yeet at least 8. Hell, they do it on Raw. They yeet for like 8 straight minutes.
Yep.
So Mania, it's going to be put over the top. I think you have to go with them. It'll be a good match. Really good match. I hope they do some good like false finishes and stuff, but I think you got to go Jay.
Yeah, but you know how WWE is.
Yep, they do the same shit with LA Knight. So
yeah, so if they dog Jay and Gunther wins, do we bring Jimmy back into the picture? Does Jimmy come in trying to help his brother, but in turn cost him the match?
That would be so shitty. Because Jay's never going to ascend back up to the world title picture, I don't think.
No, if he
loses this, I see him back to the mid.
Yeah.
So I think you got to pull the trigger now because you're not going to be able to regain this momentum probably.
Even if he holds it for 2 months.
More than likely what'll happen.
Yeah, I mean, even if he holds it for 2 months, you suffice the fans, but then something happens to cost him the title.
Paul Heyman screws him over, and Seth Rollins beats him.
Yep. And then Jimmy and Jay. I really, I'm a big Uso fan. I hate they're split up, and but I hate to see Jay be locked into the tag team deal.
Yeah.
But in the same breath, why not? I mean, dude, you can get rich off that tag team. I mean, look at the freaking New Day. Even though now they're pretty much defunct, look at the ride they had.
Yeah.
Even when they didn't have the titles, they were like the most popular tag team in the WWE without
Mhm.
the freaking titles.
Yeah. Pretty much them and the Usos.
Yeah. And the Usos, there's a deal on them. They were talking about it, the best interests and stuff, and they talked about their own interests. And they showed like the steps when they were like Samoan with the long hair and the long shorts and stuff. Then they graduated to the Usos, and they graduated to Penitentiary, and then they graduated We Are the Ones. I mean, those two dudes are something else. I mean,
Yeah, they were my favorite tag team for a while.
yeah, yeah,
Them and New Day, and I like the Street Profits a lot too.
yeah. And whatever happened to them? You know, let's talk about the Charlotte and Tiffany match.
Ooh, man. I
Man,
think
that's
that promo went a little sideways, I believe.
and the thing about it is that promo. I don't know if that was planned
I don't
because
think it was from the rumor and innuendo. I think they both got a little reprimanded from that.
yeah, because when you're talking about Charlotte Flair being 0-3, you're not talking about Charlotte Flair. You're talking about Ashley Flair.
Yeah, right.
You know, so you just threw kayfabe out the window and you stretch into personal stuff. And then when Charlotte talked about Tiffany, whatever the fuck her name is in real life, with Kaiser, I mean, you're not talking about Tiffany. You're talking about whatever the fuck her name is.
Yeah.
You got a little person. You stepped out of the boundaries a little bit there.
I think
So
that thing
I
about Kaiser was stupid. That was a stupid way, and it made Charlotte look dumb, in my opinion. Because
it did.
Tiffany got her. It sounded like Charlotte kind of took some shots at the beginning of it, and then Tiffany defended herself with that 0-3 thing. Got her pretty good on that one. And oh yeah, that's why Kaiser's in my DMs. That fell flat. I thought that was like, oh, that's like something like a 13-year-old would say. You know?
Yeah, and and Charlotte's supposed to be the heel. Well, the heel's getting heat from the Chicago fans.
Hell yeah, they were booing her out of the building.
Yeah, but you know what and then she gets up there and says, "Y'all are the best fans in the business." Why does a freaking heel give a shit about the fan? You
Yeah.
know, I mean, why are you gonna give them a kudos saying y'all the best fans? Well, it'd be more like, "Fuck y'all, let's go on, boo me and let me go."
And she kept saying like, "Come on, Chicago!" Like, hey,
Yeah,
you got to play that shit. Hell, Dominic got booed out of every building for like a year straight, and he finally learned how to just deal with it.
yeah, yeah. So I don't. That could go. I really see Charlotte winning.
Holy fuck, there's no way.
I
Man, that crowd will turn. I have a feeling you got to have Tiffany win that match.
Yeah, but if Charlotte wins it, that opens up a whole lot of doors.
Yeah, but it's Mania.
Yeah, but keep in mind what's best
Got
for
to
business.
got to be Tiffy time. I think Tiffy time is best for business right now. They can feud again. They can have another match, but I think you got to go maybe like a weird like roll up victory or some shit. Who knows?
Yeah, real quick in and out.
Yeah.
I'm
Uh,
getting my ass whipped, but I roll you up and I get the 3 count and I roll out of the ring and
yeah.
shoot the bird at you as I walk up the ramp.
Yeah. Like Charlotte should have won one of those things. Well, she had her down. And then Tiffany gets a quick three and just rolls out.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that,
I don't think
but
you're gonna want to boo because that crowd will shit all over that finish if it happens. The if Charlotte wins, that crowd will boo to holy high hell.
but long term, what are they gonna do with Charlotte after that?
Who the fuck knows? Probably go after the
If
other
she,
title.
Yeah, well, if she goes and gets beat at Mania by Tiffany, where does she go from there?
She can have a rematch. It's only their first match.
Yeah, could be interesting. What else we got? Oh, let's talk about the Cody and
Yeah, that was the next one.
that's you saw my take on that.
I
I
think
mean,
when he cut that promo saying he's gonna ruin wrestling and win the number 17 and take it home, I thought that was amazing. That was like 8 straight minutes of Cena gold right there. I've watched
yeah,
it probably a good 4 or 5 times. I've sent it to people like, hey, because people at work were like, so John Cena's a bad guy now? Like they're like, I heard about this when it first happened. So I sent them that promo. I was like, hey, watch from minute 3 to minute 11. It's 8 straight minutes of Cena like because like, oh, I turned it into a toy. Because I remember everybody was pissed when he did the spinner belt. Like, that's
yep,
real life stuff. And then now that he's gonna take the real belt home, so now that the fans have to make a toy, and it won't be the real one because the real one's home with me. I thought that was good
yeah.
stuff. Cody has to win this. There's got to be some type of. I don't know if Cena's gonna turn back face at WrestleMania, but there's no way Cena wins this.
Well, they were talking about that, and I was listening on Busted Open and on a couple of, and I don't listen to Busted Open religiously. It's on in my vehicle when I drive to work, and I hit like 15 minutes of it. But the way Bully Ray said, the way that it sounded after the other interview is that Cena's going to win. But I'm like you. I don't know. I mean, I look for him to put the title on Cena one last time before he decides to retire.
Just for what?
So
Just take
that's
it off
why,
in a month?
yeah. But that's why I said what I said on the Ad Free Show's Facebook page. Orton's got heat with both of them. Him and Cena come up together, same time. They both came to the main roster. They had heat, and then Cody was in Legacy. So does Orton come in and cost? Does he come in and cost Cena the match or Cody the match? And then either way, if Orton costs either one the match, Cody keeps the belt. So then does Orton turn around at SummerSlam and by fluke beats Cody? And then we get Cody Cena, and then Cena gets number 17. But then we turn right around because Cena's got a whole year. And then we turn right around and Cody going, hey, I never really got to wrestle that match with you because Orton interfered. So let me have my title shot, and then Cody gets it back.
I don't see what the point is.
I
I could see Orton coming in and fucking over Cena, helping Cody win the match or whatever, and then Orton Cena fight at like SummerSlam or something, but
yeah, but
I
but
don't know.
but do you remember the legacy thing was Orton and
Yeah,
Cody and DiBiase?
yeah.
I mean, Orton come back and says, "I taught you what you know now, dude.
I just
I
don't
am the
see
one."
the need to put it on Cena when he's done in 8 months.
Yeah.
I just don't see
Well,
the need for that at all.
they're going to somewhere down the road.
There ain't no
They've
way.
got they've got to. They've got to. They're going to see. I mean, Cena was a fair haired wonder boy,
Yeah, but
and they were talking about bad interviews today, and they talked about how Charlotte let the fans get to her, and how Rock let the fans get to him, and uh, Mark Henry chimed in and said, "I don't remember the fans ever getting to John Cena."
yeah,
So there was a time it was close, but I don't remember John Cena ever getting flustered by the fans. He said, I do remember when The Rock did, and I do remember, he said Friday night, Charlotte, the fans got to her. He said, but I don't remember the fans ever getting to John Cena. So
true.
and even though Cena's supposedly a bad guy, I still, they're going to put it on him before he leaves. He'll get it before he leaves because they want to cement his place in history. Because I
So
mean,
do you want bad guy Cena winning it then? That cements the history, bad guy.
but it depends on what they do. Because right now, I mean, Orton's a baby face, Cody's a baby face. So does Orton turn back to Viper Orton? I mean, I
Probably.
mean, I mean, I don't write this shit, but Triple H and them. I mean, the Cena turn mid match on, or does Cody turn? You know, I mean, Cody could turn heel, but I
Man,
don't
they're
see that
printing
happening.
money with that fool right now, though.
Yeah, I don't see that happening. But
Yeah,
does Orton come out and turn heel all of a sudden? Because we all know Orton could go both ways.
he's way better heel too.
Yeah, he is a way better heel. So if Orton comes out and blows this match for both of them, and then he does get a match with Cody and he beats Cody by hook or crook, whether it's something happened or whatever, and then I can see Cena winning the title off of Orton. I can see Cena come back saying, "Hey, dude, you fucked up the business, and I am not bad John Cena. I'm going to do what's right by the fans."
And then what? Lose it to Cody Survivor Series,
And,
close out the
and, and
year.
yeah, and then turn around and then lose it to Cody and shake his hand and lay his boots and his wristbands and his
85
you
different
can't
colored shirts and
yeah his you can't see me cap and all that bullshit in the ring. Strip down his BVDs, throw them goddamn shorts in the ring, and just say, "See you, dude. I'm done."
what was that line Cody said? Like you got more dick now than the dick in your jorts or whatever. That was
Yeah,
hilarious.
yeah. So what about the other women's?
Io Sky, Bianca Belair.
Yeah, you think it's going to stay a singles match by the time
I
WrestleMania hits?
doubt it. It's probably going to be a three-way, but I mean, they do have a gripe though. You know, how are you gonna how are you gonna do this with just inserting Rhea in there when she didn't win like any of the qualifying stuff?
But who are you going to insert?
Rhea Ripley. I bet they make it a three-way. That's probably going to happen here in about 30 minutes.
Yeah, and I'm not. I love Rhea Ripley.
Mm-hmm.
I love me some Rhea. She can call me Poppy all day long, and I wouldn't care. I might even submit and call her mommy. But what about the Naomi thing? What about the Cargill thing? They still haven't. They haven't actually come out and said Naomi's the one that attacked Jade. They've insinuated it a lot.
True.
I I like Jade Cargill. I think she's got a little bit more work to do to get to where she wants to be.
Yeah.
I don't think she's main event caliber now, but I mean she without a doubt, in a year or two she is going to be basically the next Charlotte Flair.
Yeah.
Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair, and Charlotte Flair is top three in WWE. Bianca Belair, and there's something about Bianca Belair that's just like, damn. I mean, she's got it. But then you throw Rhea in there, it's like going, yeah,
Because Rhea's
because Rhea
believable
was,
as a bad, bad bitch. Like Rhea's
yep.
believable.
And when Rhea first started, she was like, how they booked like the next Charlotte Flair. So I think it'll be a three-way. If it's not a three-way, I see Bianca keeping it because I don't think they can. I don't think
Well,
WWE's
Io
behind.
Sky's champion right now.
Yeah, but I see Bianca
Yeah.
getting it. I don't. I don't. I don't think. I think the Io Sky technically she's probably. one of the better wrestlers, but I don't think that the what's the word was for charismatic issue of it. I mean, there's a language barrier, first of all.
Yeah,
Although she's been champion a couple of times.
true. They say Triple H always like favored her, as a wrestler. Not like favorited, but like, oh, like respected her and like liked her and stuff.
But I think Bianca, and Bianca's credibility slipped a little bit in the last year or two. You remember Bianca 2 years ago?
Oh yeah, headline
Yeah,
WrestleMania.
she was like her and Mercedes.
Hmm.
But I mean, that was like the shit right there.
Yeah,
And Bianca's next big thing, if they use her right. And that's the thing right now is they're in the same issue with AEW. AEW's got a lot of talent, but they don't showcase them. WWE's got a lot of talent, and they're trying to showcase all of them. And even though they're showcasing all of them, somebody gets lost. I mean, look at Gunther, hell of a talent. But I mean, do you think of Gunther? When somebody talks about WWE, you're thinking of Cena, Cody, The Rock.
Roman.
You're not thinking of Roman, Punk. You're not thinking of Gunther.
True.
Jay because he eat,
Yeah.
but you're not thinking Gunther.
Hell, I'd say you're probably thinking more like Jacob Fatu before you think of Gunther.
But
That is a
what
bad
happened?
son of a bitch, too. As
But
an
what's
honorary
happened?
goose, I will say
Yeah,
that.
yeah. But what's happened the last 4 or 5 weeks?
He's about to battle LA Knight. That's one of the matches on LA Knight's the US champ. Jacob Fatu's about to
Yeah,
be US champ.
yeah. But where's he been the last 3 weeks?
Who, Jacob?
Yeah,
He just fought Braun Strowman in the last man standing. Did you not watch that?
yeah. But it's not
SmackDown.
like you don't talk about it
Yeah, true.
because everybody's talking about Punk and Roman and Seth
Yeah.
and Cody and Cena. I mean, we got a lot of real good mid carders, and they're not really mid carders. They're all main event talent,
Yeah.
but we're so heavy that we don't talk about. I mean, you look at AEW.
Hell, LA Knight was the hottest thing since sliced bread, and now he's just kind of an afterthought.
Yeah, he's just there. He's there. So yeah, it's crazy to think about. You don't think about stuff like that. What
What
else
do
we
you think
got
about
going on, dude?
what do you think about AJ Styles and Logan Paul?
I wish somebody killed Logan Paul.
I have a feeling they're gonna have him beat AJ Styles. I hope they don't, but I have a feeling he's gonna win.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a Logan Paul fan, although I will say this about Logan Paul. The match with Mysterio when he saved Mysterio from almost a botch move.
Yeah.
I mean that even though Logan was not in the business that long, I mean that's thinking on your feet because that could have got somebody hurt. So
He is very
Logan
athletic.
Paul, and he's a student of the game.
Yeah.
But I don't know, son.
I just have a feeling
I'm
they'll have him. I like AJ Styles a lot, but I have a feeling
oh,
they're gonna fucking have Logan Paul do like he'll probably cheat and win.
AJ's probably. I mean, I was AJ back in TNA. I mean, I watched TNA not religiously, but when I was watching TNA, AJ was the dude. AJ and Samoa Joe.
Yeah.
I mean, they had some battles, and AJ took the belt and said, "Fuck y'all," and left with the TNA belt. And Dixie Carter's like going, AJ is technically probably one of the better wrestlers out there.
Oh, big time.
And we talk about And it's funny to talk about that because you know, and I know, and everybody that listens to your podcast knows that it's it is wrestling, but it's entertainment based. These guys, these guys, AJ is probably the most technical guy as far as move set and what to do when somebody puts a move on you. They do, and I'm not calling it fake. Trust me, I've been watching it for 40, 50 years now. But if these guys don't know how to take a bump and help somebody else finish a move, somebody's getting hurt.
Yeah.
And that was proven with the Logan Paul Rey Mysterio thing. And Logan Paul opened up a lot of people's eyes because he was what, maybe a year into it, and Ray could have got hurt bad had Logan Paul not did what he did to protect Rey Mysterio. I mean, you watch a lot of it, and if you're a student of the game and you watch it, it's like, ugh, damn. I mean, it's like the blading incident. I mean, if you're a student of the game and you see the blading going on, you're like going, yeah, okay, dude, but it's good TV.
Yeah.
But if you're not a student of the game and you see all this blood rushing out, you didn't see the blade. You didn't see the blade. I mean, there was a match. I can't remember who it was where the blade.
You just see
blade,
like.
well, yeah, where the blade flew, where they threw the blade and it flew across the ring,
Yeah.
and the referee had to kick it out of the ring. I mean, it's like I told you. I met Kerry Von Erich in a bar in Hobart, Oklahoma that night, and he said, "Well, one of the girls asked him, said, how's it? It's pretty much fake." Kerry told her, said, "Let me pick you up and drop you on the floor." And she said, "No, no, no." He said, "It's not fake. We know how to take the bump." And somebody said, "What about the blood? We heard ketchup packets." And Kerry said, "There's tricks to that also." He said, "We're not going to give out our secrets." He said, but all he says is there's tricks to that also. Well, you know, they hide blades in their damn Cena with wristbands. Hide a blade in the wristband.
Hell, they said Tully used to wrestle with one in his mouth.
Yeah. Yeah, you could, you go so long.
Take bumps with a razor in your mouth and then like not cut your damn tongue off and then pull it out later in the match and use it.
Yeah. And they don't cut themselves with the blade. Some of them have, but most of them is they lighten the skin enough to where a bump causes the blood. There's a difference between taking a blade. I don't know if you can see me. Taking a blade and cutting yourself, you're going to bleed automatically. But if you take the blade, turn it upside, and go back and forth, and you shimmy that skin enough where it's light enough, and you get hit, you've almost got it bleeding, but one hit and you're bleeding.
Yeah.
Because everybody knows anything above the heart is going to bleed like a mad dog. But you look at old dog schools, like look at Dusty. Look at Dusty's forehead.
Yeah.
In some old pictures.
Or Abdullah's forehead.
Oh, goddamn. Abdullah, a fucking fork to the forehead?
Abdullah's head looks like the Grand Canyon. It's just so many deep cuts.
Look at Moxley with that damn spike thing. What was it, 2 weeks ago?
That was something else. I definitely had to show some people that, like some of my bar friends and some work people, like, hey, this happened tonight. Check this out. I was like, it's fake, huh? The man, when Moxley just got slammed on that, fuck. I like cringed watching it. I was like, this is a bit much.
And the best one to listen to is when Mick Foley talks about it. Because hell, he got his ear ripped off with a claw hammer. And Mick Foley says, it's not that it's fake, he said, but sometimes it gets out of hand. And Mick Foley, it's one of somebody who can still walk. He barely can.
Yeah. ever since listening to Conrad's podcast and stuff, and like they cover, because if you think about it, like one of Shawn Michaels' big first matches after getting the title, Mick Foley, Undertaker, Mick Foley, Stone Cold, Mick Foley. I mean, Triple H, Mick Foley, him and Orton, like he's kind of that guy, like the barometer of a lot. I know people say 1, 2, 3 Kid was, but Mick Foley's got to be up there because he had a feud with all these top guys, like when they won the belt.
Yeah.
And
Well,
man, he put his body through hell and back.
if you watch the deal with Triple H and Mick Foley, first of all, it was Mick Foley, and he's on the ramp doing an interview and said, Triple H, you beat me, you cut me, and he's on a white shirt and a tie,
Yeah.
and he's got blood all over him. He said, but I'm not gonna fight you, but you know a guy that will, and he rips that shirt off, and it's Mankind.
It was
And Triple
Cactus.
H, Cactus Jack.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Triple H's expression is going like, that's an oh shit moment.
Yeah.
Because
They had a great match after that.
yeah, I mean, I grew up when Cactus Jack was in WCW, and that dude was like scary. I mean, it's like, dude, he gonna kill somebody.
Yeah.
But I don't know. You're too young to remember Bruiser Brody,
Yeah.
but Bruiser Brody was a scary dude too. And if you ever watch the the A&E deal where Bruiser Brody got killed in Mexico, but they were talking about Bruiser Brody going to the ring and said he saw this chain and grabbed that chain and started swinging it. And they said, you got to do that every time now. And Bruiser Brody he was a lot like Mick Foley. And Bruiser Brody was like the dude back then. It was like, if Brody's in the ring, somebody's getting bloody.
Man.
So we have went way off course talking about WrestleMania. So what's another match, dude?
Braun Breaker versus Penta versus Finn Balor versus Dominic Mysterio. Four-way intercontinental dance.
If Braun Breaker doesn't win that, there's an issue.
Well, if he doesn't win it, I think it's because bigger skies are ahead for him. If he does win it, I can see, why. I
So who
think
do you think?
it's a vehicle to maybe give Penta a title and have Finn Balor and Dominic feud each other. Like
I can see
I
that.
see Penta winning because Dom and Finn are probably going to fight each other. Penta's going to pin one of them, probably win it. Braun Breaker's probably going right up to the main card, and then Finn and Dominic probably going to start feuding.
Yeah, because they've got to get the Finn Dom in somehow.
Yeah,
It's got to start. It's got to start somewhere. Because Dom, bless his heart, he's a little punk, but he's not a bad talent. And but he hasn't really got to showcase what he knows yet. He's done some. Don't get me wrong.
yeah.
But right now, he's been Liv Morgan's bitch. He
Yeah.
was Rhea Ripley's bitch, and then Liv Morgan's bitch.
Not a bad life, though. Not a bad life.
Flip a coin, pick me. I don't care.
I definitely booed him quite a bit the past couple years, but not a bad gimmick. Like, all right, you're gonna be Rhea's bitch. Okay, after that, you're gonna transition to Liv's. Like, okay, sign me up. Hell, I'll do this. I'll pay you to have me do this.
You're like going, put the dog collar on me and let's go to town, woman. Come on.
As long as you pay for my plane ticket, you ain't got to pay me a dime after that.
Yeah. So I see the Finn Balor Dom thing coming. It's
Yeah.
got to come. They've teased it for too long.
Yeah.
Braun, like you said, they've got to get Braun out of this kind of stagnant, and they've got to shoot him up to the top.
He is that dude. He's the future, I think.
And it's a stepping stone for Penta. Let's get Penta started. But Ray made his debut. Ray Phoenix.
Yeah, it's true. Because you could go with the tag team now.
But aren't they on separate brands? Isn't Penta on Raw and Ray's on
Oh
SmackDown?
yeah, I didn't think about that.
So I, I I think as a tag team, put them back together. But let's let Ray have his dues or Penta have his dues, and then okay, let's just think about that. If Penta wins it, what if let's just say a tag team master like the Usos or the New Day or the Street Profits come in? One of them goes after Ray's title, but the other one keeps interfering or goes after Penta's title.
Yeah,
If Penta wins, and then they keep interfering, and then Ray comes in to make the save for his brother.
that's true.
Then we got the tag team turmoil crap.
Yeah.
So I'm like you though. Braun Breaker is man when he was in NXT. I mean he after Adam Cole left, and then Gargano left. Breaker stepped in and said, "Fuck y'all, it's my show."
And it was. You could definitely
And
tell
it was.
he was like, I'm not gonna say talent wise or anything like that, but aura wise and presence wise, you knew
Yeah,
that why is this guy on NXT? Everybody's like, why is he on NXT?
yeah.
They knew he was the dude. Yeah.
You know, so yeah, Braun Breaker he'll be the next big thing.
Hmm.
But there's so many big things ahead of him. I
That's what
mean, you think
sucks because I've been telling people like, because they're like, oh, MJF needs to go to WWE, and I'm like, why? He'll just be lost in the
why?
shuffle. They have
Yeah,
85 motherfuckers in the main event. Like if MJF goes there, he's gonna be just like another dude.
yep, yep. It'll be interesting because
Because if you put Braun Breaker up in the picture, who are you taking out of the picture?
yeah. But if Roman steps aside
Well, you still got
and
Seth and Punk and Jacob is on
Cody,
the rise. Jacob's on a pretty big rise.
yeah. So do you jump over Jacob and start pushing Braun, or
Man,
I mean,
that's a hard question because that's what it's gonna kind of come down to. We're gonna
and
push
that
one of you.
so or do we throw Gunther to the side and push? I mean, it's like
See,
who do we push?
there's only so many pieces of the pie, and I think Jacob's got a fucking world title in his future too.
Yeah. Oh
That
yeah.
dude's good. His promos are good. He wrestles good. Like I don't know.
And that could be long term storytelling if Roman loses and Jacob comes along and says, "You are not my tribal chief." I mean, it ain't nothing gonna happen overnight.
Hmm.
So I don't know,
A lot of good stuff they could do.
but they're falling into the AEW trap right now. They got so much freaking talent. But the thing about WWE is they're not putting anybody in the back burner. They're kind of sort of showcasing everybody a little bit.
And that's not even
I
all
mean,
the. I don't think they have the whole card for Mania out yet either.
yeah. So I mean, it's kind of like okay, like you said, where was MJF last night?
He was in the crowd. He helped
Yeah,
out with the match.
yeah. MJF is the fair haired Wonder Boy. So where was MJF last night?
Just chilling in the crowd, not having a match, and helping the Hurt Business or whatever. The
Yeah,
Hurt Syndicate, whatever they're called.
yeah. So I mean, and that's the thing. AEW's got so much talent, and right now they're focused so much on the Death Riders, but then of course the Young Bucks have to make the
But
comeback.
and Hangman came in that match, and he looked at like because he didn't know who to fucking you know.
Yeah.
It's just they got a convoluted thing going on, in my opinion.
So is Hangman going to come in Is he gonna be on? Is he even gonna be on any of the shows next week? I mean, who knows?
He wasn't after Dynasty, and I was fucking pissed off because I had front row seats to the or not. I'm sorry, Revolution. He wasn't after Revolution because I wanted to see his ass. I told my buddy RJ that went with me, like, "Hey man, Hangman Page is here. He's like cowboy shit, blah blah." Blah. He wasn't even on the damn show, and he had
And that,
just
and
beat who'd he beat? MJF, I think.
yeah, and that's the problem with AEW. They got a lot of talent, but they focus so much on, oh, we got a storyline going with the Death Riders. You got a storyline, but you can skip that for a week.
You could skip it permanently. You could end it, and I think people will clap that it's over.
Yeah, but
I think it's ran its course. It ran its course 8 months ago.
WWE's got so much talent, and it's not that. Oh, we know AEW's got more talent than what they can have, what they can show on TV.
Yeah.
WWE's got what, 3 options now?
Hell, but still too much because as I'm looking at this list, Chelsea Green's not on here, and you know she's gonna have a Mania match.
Yeah,
I don't think they've announced all the cards. They only have 8 matches for 2 nights right now, or I guess 10 matches for 2 nights. You know, there's gonna be 4 more matches announced. I think Orton versus Aldis should be announced soon.
yeah, because that was pretty funny. Because if you
Aldis
remember
can
correct,
wrestle. He's not like medically retired. He can go.
if you remember correctly, when Orton did the RKO
Mm.
and he got fined, and he paid Aldous and said, Aldous said, that's too much. That's for the next time.
Mm.
If you think about it, he said, that's for the next time.
There you go.
That was like
Maybe,
6, 7 months ago.
yeah. And I will say that Cody and all this, they should run that back one more time because that made All In. Like that was what started AEW.
Yep. Yep. So I don't know. It's interesting to talk about wrestling right now because AEW, everybody knows that they're struggling. They're struggling, but they're not. They find a smart move. They got their venues small enough to look like they have a crowd, and they have a crowd. I mean, Jesus Christ, we were at Dynasty or at
Dynamite.
Dynamite that night. Yeah,
I was at Revolution in LA. It looked like they packed out the Staples Center, whatever it's called now. And then I was at the what was that? Fresno at the Save Mart Center for the Dynamite following that front row. And my buddy's like, "Damn, this is like a real production, huh?" I'm like, "Yeah, dude," because like all the stands were filled up. I know it's a smaller arena, but all the sections were filled up, and we were front row, and he's just like taking a picture, like doing the panorama shit of the crowd and everything.
yeah.
Because he's like, "This is
And
real deal. This is real deal." And that's a guy
and
that don't
Tony
know nothing about wrestling, so he was saying, "Man, this is awesome."
and Tony finally listened to people and said, maybe you need to be a smaller venue, and it's not a ding to you. I mean, everybody knows you're number two. I mean, just because you don't think you're number two, everybody in the world knows you're number two.
True. They even say it before TNA, and TNA's in bed with WWE right now.
Yeah, yeah,
Or Billy Corgan in the NWA. No one really talks about them much.
yep. So it's interesting to. So it's somebody said, "Hey, lady, neighbor lady," but it's interesting, and AEW has got a lot of talent that they're not utilizing, but they have no room on their show for them.
True.
WWE's got a lot of talent, but WWE, I mean, it's like Braun Breaker. Let's just use Braun Breaker. Has Braun Breaker been on TV every night?
Not really.
Exactly. But is there still a story with Braun Breaker?
Yeah.
Do we do him every other TV show or every third TV show, and we keep the fans invested in him?
Yeah.
I mean, and that's the thing that I mean, I am in no way a wrestling businessman. You talk to me, I mean, like you talk to me about bell peppers and green onions and steak and something. I can tell you all you want to know about the grocery business, but you talk about the wrestling business, I'm like, these guys know more than I do.
Hell yeah, they do. Man, listen to Eric's podcast. you realize there are so it's a can of worms.
Yeah.
There's the TV, and then what you think is happening behind the TV, but then there's also a corporate side to everything, and
Yeah. I mean,
that's
when
where a
you
lot of
got
it gets lost in the sauce.
it's just like you and I can go on there and say, this is what we want to see, and this is what we want to do. But then we got to answer to a booker and a matchmaker, and then we got to answer to the TV conglomerate,
Yep.
and then we got to answer to the owner of the company, and then
Advertisers
advertise. I mean, it's just like it's like the Netflix deal.
and talent
Everybody talk,
relations. I mean, in all reality, you are their boss. You can tell them to fuck off, but you also kind of want a cohesive work environment. So you do kind of have to be like, do I want to just piss everybody off all the time to where they just shit the bed and quit? Or do I want to kind
yeah.
of,
I
acquiesce a
mean,
little bit? Like it's,
let's think about that for a little bit. What did and this is just what did WWE say to Natalia? She is still gun ho WWE.
yeah, she's
When was
wrestling.
the last, when was the last time you've seen Natalia?
You're about to see her WrestleMania weekend wrestling from GCW with the WWE name on her.
But in the background of it that nobody we don't hear about it, Natalia's training a lot of the people. So they threw a kudo here. I mean, Soraya
Well, hell,
are
what
paying.
about Titus O'Neil and the Miz? They do all this
Yeah,
corporate, like they're the face. They go
yeah,
ambassadors, I guess is the term, but they go out there to all these like corporate type things, and they're like representing WWE, Titus O'Neil, and nobody knows that shit. But in
yep,
reality, they have him as like one of the spokespeople.
exactly.
And he ain't
Exactly.
been on TV since he tripped down the stairs in Saudi.
Yep.
you know?
And the Miz is probably one of the best talents on the mic that there was.
Yeah, it's true. He's
I
he's
mean,
very he is very hateable. He has a very
I
hateable feature.
yeah, I am not a Miz fan, but I'm not a Miz fan, but I like the Miz.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a good heel in my opinion. I will never cheer for him, but if one of my wrestlers was in a program with him, I'm like, oh, this is gonna be good. You know?
Could you imagine the Miz and MJF side by side?
Oh God. Don't get too many ideas. That's probably what's about to happen.
I mean, if they were a tag team, even could you
That would be
imagine?
nuts. Those promos would be fucking Oscar worthy every Monday.
I was watching a deal the other day, and I don't know something came up, and it was like, what was the guy that did the Miz's stunt double?
Oh, Fandango or whatever.
No, the
No,
other
no,
guy.
no. I know who you're talking. My bad. What's
God
his name?
damn
Like
it!
Tony Steele now or whatever.
Yeah, but they showed where the Miz was wrestling, and I can't remember who he was wrestling, but they do a,
Ms.
a
Dow.
move on the
Wasn't that Ms. Dow?
Miz now, and they
Yeah.
do a move. Do a move on the Miz, and this guy would replicate the move.
yeah.
And I watched that. It was like a 5 minute video, and I'm dying. Like, dude, really?
All right. Well, I guess another match is Jade Cargill versus Naomi. It's a singles match. Got a little story involved in it. So, we'll see where this one goes.
Yeah, I'm not so sure Naomi's the one that did Jay Cargill. I mean, I know that they're saying yes and no, but I mean, Cargill had heat with Charlotte.
Boy,
When she,
oh man, that would be a hell of a turn, huh? If
yeah,
Charlotte loses the Tiffy time, and that's what
yeah,
you do with Charlotte right after that. You
because
know?
when Cargill first came up, they had that little heat backstage where they looked at each other.
Yeah, yeah. That was on the ramp, right? When they
Yep,
stopped.
yep.
I did not
I
even think about that. That's a very because Charlotte could lose the Tiffy time, Naomi could lose or win, or whatever. But Jade and Charlotte, that's an
yep.
interesting wrinkle.
So did Naomi attack her? Did Charlotte attack her? Did Bianca attack her? I
That's
mean,
what I was
there's
gonna
a
say.
whole
If Rhea Ripley wins that belt and Bianca loses that belt, maybe it comes around later in the night or before the night or whatever. When Jade and Naomi fight, maybe Bianca's like, "Hey, I'm the one that attacks you."
yeah, yeah. I'm tired of carrying your ass, bitch. You're a fucking
Or
rookie.
Bianca, yeah, maybe Bianca's like, "I attacked you."
Yeah, because Bianca come back and say, you're a fucking rookie. I carried your ass. I
Yeah,
mean,
you're
but
supposed to be the next best thing, and you ain't worth a shit.
so I mean, you got Bianca, you got Charlotte. I mean, I'm not so sure it's Naomi, but
That may be the most intriguing match on the card, and it ain't worth nothing.
yeah, it's just there.
There's no titles,
It's
there's
like,
no nothing, but the twists and turns that could come out of that match,
yeah.
man.
And I like Cargill, uh, even though she's what's how am I going to put? She's still green.
Yeah,
I mean, Naomi is, of course, Naomi's been there, done that. But Cargill, I mean, you look at her presence compared to you could
I've
put up
seen her
her.
in public multiple times, Jade Cargill, and she is that woman. Like she
Yeah,
is, she walks in there. Obviously, they have a lot of strong females on that roster, but Jade walks in there, and it's like this is someone. Like she has that. You just feel it when she walks into a room. Like holy shit, this is an important person. You know.
and her physique is her
I have
physique
also seen that at a hotel pool, and it is not. Man,
is
she
not. Yeah,
she has all the potential in the world to be a headliner. That is for sure.
yeah. She her physique is challenging Bianca and challenging Charlotte.
It's challenging China. you know.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and I'm not all about them buff built women, but I any one of them three with my ass, I have to take. That's an ass I have to take. Bianca's the one. When Bianca first came out, I'm like going, damn. Now I wasn't a big China fan. China looked too much like a man, and I know I'm gonna get heat for that. You're probably gonna get DMs going. Your dad's a fucking ass.
Oh, I've
China
heard.
looked like
I've had my own personal DMs about a certain comment I made on this show.
yeah.
So it is what it is.
China looks like a she looked like a man. China, but in the same breath, even though her build was like a man, and the more you looked at her, she was. I mean, and God knows I'm attracted to women. She was a good looking woman, but Charlotte is a true definition of an athlete, along with Bianca. If you look at pictures of Bianca at
Tennessee,
Tennessee
yeah,
compared to now, I mean, at Tennessee, she was okay.
well, hey,
She had,
Tiffany Stratton has a pretty good decorated athletic career too. It's been
yeah.
Tiffy
I
time for
mean,
a while, you know.
but if you look at, okay, I'm gonna piss all your women viewers off. But if you look at the booty, back in the day when they were actually true college athletes, and if you look at their booty now, it's a little trimmer now than it was then. But if you look at the legs, Bianca Belair, god damn, that woman. I mean, she ran hurdles, and it's like, damn.
Yeah,
So the Bianca Naomi thing, it's a revenge match because you came out and attacked me. But do we know that? I mean,
there's a lot of places this could go.
yeah, the Charlotte thing's still out there. It's on the back burner because they had a little bit of they saw each other in passing, and Charlotte wasn't. Charlotte Flair's not jealous of anybody, but in the same breath, here comes this woman mastodon, and it's like going, I'm the next big thing, and Charlotte's going, yeah, you ain't got shit on me.
Yeah,
And then Charlotte gets hurt and gets put out. So did something happen there?
That is true.
Did Bianca do it because she was tired of carrying the rookie's ass? So
Or
I
did
mean,
Naomi do it? Or did Charlotte do it? Like, you could
yeah,
go, there's three viable storylines right here.
and any one of the four are hellacious athletes.
Yep.
Yeah, that could be the sleeper for Mania. Unless they load up something else for Mania, who knows? And who knows what they're going to do with Orton? Are they, like you said, are they going to give Orton a match with Aldis, or are they going to just say,
I hope they do. Or was it going to be an open challenge and fucking, wasn't Malachi Black or Aleister Black comes back?
yeah, or
As
could
long as
they
he
just
does
say,
that his entrance where he used to like rise up like that was sick.
yeah, but they could just say, "Fuck you, Randy." KO's out, but then that opens up the whole door of what I said. He could get involved in the Cena Cody match. So I
True.
don't know. I don't know. Anyway, son, we talked a lot of wrestling, even though this is not a wrestling podcast.
Hell, I'm damn near certain that it's not a podcast, but we got one in the can today, boy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we can do this about like I said, my schedule's kind of screwed up. We might do this about every other week. They want to
Well,
see me more than
until
want
my DMs fill up, because I'm not gonna reach. This is gonna sound very assholeian of me, but I mean it. Just let me explain. I'm not gonna hit up people and be like, "Hey, you trying to be on the show? Hey, you trying to be on the show?" But this is a open casting call. If you want to, hit me up, and then whatever's good for you, it's good for me. Like if the times match up, then we can do it. But I'm not gonna message 75 of my friends asking if they want to be on the show. If y'all want to be on, hit me up and we can work something out. Like that's the easiest way. I know it sounds like, oh, you would be on, hit me up, and I don't mean it that way. It's just
yeah.
easier if you want to be on, holler at me. Like I'm not gonna holler at you in hopes that you want to be on. If you want to be on, my DMs are wide open. Like
Because we all know the cock. Everybody loves the cock,
right.
but there was a lot of personal issues behind the scenes that people had stuff going on. People was having babies and got married.
Right.
And,
You made that sound so negative. There's personal stuff
well,
behind the scenes.
well, there was a lot of stuff going on, and
Yeah,
I
yeah,
understand.
yeah. People were busy. It's not like there were personal issues. Like every person had something going on. That's what you mean.
And I understand that, but just as a PSA, all you people that watch the Kick Out Crew know that it was like a couple of hours, unless the boys got long winded, it was 3 hours.
Unless Stunt Marshall's on, then it's 3.5 hours.
Yeah. But it was just a bunch of guys bullshitting, and they picked a wrestling deal or two. Well, James and I just now hour and a half in, and we talked a lot of wrestling, but you don't have to talk wrestling. Just come on and talk.
Yeah.
And it's like I told him. I said, it was an interesting podcast, and I don't have an issue coming on, but I'm not going to be. Don't get me wrong, guys. I am not a regular. No,
Well, hell,
no
I
way.
may there are no shortness of me bitching about doing prediction shows. I hate them.
Yeah.
I absolutely fucking can't stand them. Because everything changes by the minute. Raw's on right now. Half of the shit we just said could be out the window here in 2 hours. But
So we recorded this thing tonight, and you post it tomorrow.
yeah,
It all may have changed. It all may have changed
we're
last
gonna look like
night.
big old dumbasses tomorrow morning. But hey, I look like a dumbass damn near 90% of the time, so I'm cool with it.
Pretty much. I mean, you are my boy. But I want to I just want to come on here and say, guys, that is my son. God, I hate to say it in public.
Oh bullshit! You damn sure liked it in Chicago. You liked it in Huntsville. You know,
No,
it has its
that's
perks.
my that's my boy. And I wouldn't, and half the people that watch this, I wouldn't know you unless wasn't through him. But and I'm not going to get sappy by any means, but that's my boy, and I'd do anything in the world for him. Uh, I am not a top guy where this all started from, but I am a top dad,
Boom.
and that's the only guy that I have as my son. Although some of you are like sons and daughters, except for Allison, she might
God,
be something more than a daughter.
I like how you make fun of me saying that I could have like illegitimate children out there, but when it comes to you, you're like, you're my only son. How the fuck am I? How do I know that you don't have, a couple of heathens running around there?
There's a lot of things about me you don't need to know. You, you're on a need to know basis, boy.
I don't have the security clearance on some of this stuff.
Exactly. But this podcast that he's got going on, uh, I do know that some of the older podcast guys are have contacted, and they may come in and join.
Yeah,
But
we're all still
I mean,
friends. I mean, it's not like hell, I even like Brad, you know, and he
you
likes
like
the
Brad?
god dang Eagles.
I don't like Brad at all. Such an Eagles fan. But no, uh, I this Kick Out Crew podcast, guys. It's a lot of fun. I enjoyed the hell out of it, and I understand that everybody had a lot of other things going on in their lives. And like James said, maybe we just do these once every month or so. But any of you guys that want to join in, holler at him.
Yeah.
He ain't going to reach out because he is. My son is a different kind of cat. He's not going to beg anybody to do anything. He'll do something on his own before he. And I'm not saying beg. He knew what he got himself into before he started.
Yeah.
And right now, I just called him up today. And said, "Hey, dude, you want to record something?"
I
And
was
he said,
honestly about to record by myself. Like, it's funny you bring this up because I was like, I got to put something out. I got to put something out.
and I said, you and I'll get on there and just bullshit, and we bullshitted. And this is what our conversations are like. And I talk to him at least once a week, sometimes twice a week. Our schedules are different. The time zones
The time
suck.
zone absolutely blows ass. I feel like I'm behind the times. By the time I get off work, everybody's asleep. I'm like, I feel like I'm behind the times.
Yeah, we have a lot of stuff in common. We both work in the same industry, but I will tell you this: I'm not going to be sappy about it, but I'm proud of what the man's become. And I said, "Man, not just a boy."
It took long enough.
Uh, yeah, it took you a while, but I'm real proud of what he's become. Some of his choices I'm not so proud of, but,
It was
but
only
I am.
from the years of what, 24 to 31.
Yeah, there's been a few in there. Some of your choices weren't too proud of, but what you've become lately, I am proud of. Most of your actions, I'm proud of. I mean, some of the stuff happens at Top Guy weekends and stuff. I gotta kind of scratch my head like, did he really do that shit? But anyway, we all know that, and if you guys don't know, uh, a lot of you say, "Oh, James's dad." James, no, you don't understand. I may be James's dad, but James is still my son. He's still Randy's son, and I couldn't ask for a better son. Of course, it's the only one I got. So, hey,
uh, no,
I don't,
knowingly, the
I
only
don't,
one you have.
I don't have a whole lot of choices out there.
Kind of got to deal with what you got, huh? You drew the short
Yeah,
straw on this one.
and he felt he he's a chip off the old block, and if you guys that know us know we're pretty much two peas in a pod.
Dude, wow, you're crazy guys.
Yeah, I'm a little more laid back than he is, but it's pretty interesting when you walk into a motel and you're carrying like 3 24 packs of beer, and everybody goes, "Oh, the Elkouris are here." Well, we got to
right. You got to get the luggage buggy for the beer you bring.
We like our beer.
We can show up with Piggly Wiggly bags and need the luggage rack for all the beer we got.
You throw your bag over your shoulder and carry and wheel the cart in with all the beer on.
Yeah,
that's okay. But I had a good time today, son.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Felt good to get back on camera.
Yeah,
felt good to talk.
And next time we may talk about anything but wrestling.
Right? You never know. That's the beauty of it all. It can be anything.
I could tell stories on you, but
God, we won't do that.
Yeah. those will be for a whole nother episode.
Yeah, right. Oh, we'll put that behind our own Patreon. Oh wait, we don't have one because it's your show for free. Man, you need to start monetizing this.
There you go.
Hell, we ain't never had no luck monetizing everything. Hell, we've been on a network and that worked swellingly.
Yeah, that went over real good.
Boy, howdy. Between that and me moving to the 2 different time zones, that kicked out the crew. If you think about it.
And I hate to cut you off, but I know how the kick out crew used to end it with like 20 minutes of trying to end the show.
Oh yeah.
But it's like 7:30 my time, 5:30 your time.
That's true. So I guess what better way to wrap this up than something heartfelt and warm, because we're back in it.
Come on, give us some of that James bullshit. Come on.
Because here's the thing, we're back in it, and I know it's been a long time, but hey, I'm glad to see that some of my friends are here with us during this current time. A lot of things could have happened since our last episode and this episode, but the fact that you're still here with us today, the fact that you kicked out at 2 and was able to join us, I mean, that's what it's all about, baby. Life is gonna get you down. It's gonna kick you in the teeth. It's gonna curb stomp your ass every chance it gets. You know that. So if you know that going in, then you know that you have the power to kick out when it does it. Because here's the thing: if you let life conquer you, then I don't get to see you today. So I can't say see you tomorrow unless you kick out at 2 today. So that's my little challenge to everyone here. I want to see you again down the road. And the only way I get to see you again down the road is if you kick out at 2. Because that's what we do. And that's what you do. And more than ever now, it is your show. So reach out. We're here. I got 2 ears and I got heavy shoulders, I can carry a lot of burdens. I can listen to all your problems. So why not, sit back and relax and have some damn fun. Because that's what we're here for. Fun. Always. And that's
so can I come in there, dude?
Huh?
That's my boy right there. Can I come in there?
Oh yeah.
I love that. I just got one more thing. I got to go.
All right.
I'm gonna give you your tagline, like you always said. When life gets you down, kick out in 2, because it's your show.
Yeah.
And that's what we do. When life gets you down, kick out in 2.
Always.
I love you, stud. Had a good time tonight.
Oh yeah, I love you too. What better way than now, We'll see you next time.
See you next time. Have a good one. Y'all have a good evening.
Goodbye.